Hi, we're WTF Squared, and that actually stands for
White to Tall Film Festival.
yeah. So I guess it's time to figure out what this film festival is about. So White to Tall Film Festival is essentially a learning festival and a film festival. And what we're trying to do is trying to create this film festival in the theme of sustainability, or rather sustainable living in Singapore. And the pilot for this is for Singapore only. So if you're Singaporean, PR, living here, you're in luck.
And why do we do actually a tall festival? So it means that it's a vertical format. So it's wide. Traditional film formats are wide for film festivals, and now we are actually incorporating into the vertical formats, right? Mainly because of the current platforms of TikTok, right? And in the future, a lot of videos on IGs or on different social media platforms will be actually vertical formats, and it's the easiest way to actually operate a phone vertically while shooting it.
Along with that is we understand that the sustainability theme is something that's a little bit more foreign, difficult to get in touch with for the younger generation. And several months ago, when we were doing our research in this area and just wondering why it's not really catching so much engagement with the wider audience.
So there are several YouTube links and videos out there that you have these big government bodies and corporation heads who comes out and talk about sustainability, right? But when you look at the number of views, right, it's at less than 100. Even if there's a lot of views, most of them are negative comments, because for the general public audience, right, they can't connect with what these people are talking about. There's clearly a very big gap, right? And it's like we are laymen people, right? We don't understand what you're talking about. And you talk about sustainability, the actions, what we should be doing, but we don't know how to react to that. And they feel so far apart. It's like you are in your own world, I'm in another universe, right? So that's why all these negative connotations, appear.
I think it's also about that disconnect through language and the tone of voice used. It's just not something that people would engage with because it might come across too theoretical. It really should be an open conversation. It's exclusive when you use labels because people might not want to relate to that label, and they might have some bias with that. So we decided to just figure out how we can give the youth their own expression, their own language of choice.
In our journey in doing this film festival, we actually get in touch with a lot of corporate companies.
Yeah.
And to our surprise, they actually have put in a lot of effort into doing sustainability movements and research, right? But the fact is that no one knows about it. The youth doesn't know about it, right? So there's a very big gap and disconnection. So we are trying to bridge that gap. So this is why we have these corporates to come in to actually be part of our stakeholders and to provide the access to their research and education and bring it to the youth, right, to bridge the gap.
But then we found out that you can't actually promote your CSR efforts. We don't see this as marketing, but we're seeing this as an educational process. So what we've gone and done is, found a lot of advocates. We have all the interviews on CoCurricular Platform, and this is how you're going to be able to also reach out to them, because there's going to be little groups where they're going to join to be able to answer these questions.
So why youth?
We always underestimate this power of the youth when they are the ones that have the most to lose.
So the term, right, hopeless generation, is not coined by the older generation, it's coined by themselves actually, because they don't see any hope in the world. So they call themselves the hopeless generation. It's not because they are hopeless.
Yeah.
It's because they don't see any hope, right? It's like everything around them is dying. There's a lot of, there's a pandemic going on. There's a lot of political issues that's happening worldwide. And the world is dying, the earth is dying. Yeah. You watch all these documentaries that everything is going downhill.
Yeah.
So how is earth itself livable or sustainable for the future generations?
Yeah.
I think this is the key worry for a lot of young people nowadays.
Compassion fatigue is real. And we see this every day on the internet, on the news, on media. In some way, I'm looking at this as a different vibe that we want to bring in. Designers, the artists, they're the heartbeat of the media industry. They are practically the gatekeepers into looking at what goes in. And we want to just share a little bit of hope. We want to infuse a little bit of positivity into this direction and ask ask you guys, when you're actually delivering something for our submissions, why don't you look at giving it a positive spin, looking for the solution instead of talking about the negative.
It's all a domino effect.
Yeah.
Right. So if one youth, right, one person, tells us how the world is falling apart, the rest will get affected. Because everyone is on social media nowadays. People follow trends, people follow people. People don't follow and listen to the older generation or listen to the government bodies or corporate bodies. They listen to their peers. Right? We are so influenced by one another. So I've been close to a lot of my ex-students and alumni. I've been working with quite a number of them, and even those that I'm not working with directly, we still get together very often. So what I realized about the youth creative community, right, is that they're actually a very, very tight-knitted group, right? But yet, I realized that they do not have the good platforms to express their creativity, So they, like a rat race, right? They start to compete against each other, for full-time jobs, to get jobs, right, in all the different agencies, etc. And to me, if you ask me personally, their whole life is going to be the same after that, right? No matter which agencies you go to, no matter which full-time jobs you go to, you're going to do the same thing over and over and over again. And you'll go to whichever agency that pays you more money for a full-time job. But when we look at the work that we actually produce, right? Yes, we are proud of certain works that we do. We may enjoy them. But again, sometimes when we look back, like myself, at the age of 41 right now, I look back at all the works that I've done, I actually do not enjoy extremely or feel extremely satisfied, right, with them. Then I keep questioning myself, why? Is it the quality of work? To me, it's not. The quality of work is high, but why am I not satisfied? Why am I not happy? Because I realized it actually lacks purpose, right? So with this platform, it provides the freedom to use your passion to express and to do something that's very purposeful. And I think that brings a lot of joy for creative.
Yeah, passion for purpose and a reason for expression. I think the reason why we even wanted, to start creating a career in this industry, the creative industry, when it usually has been frowned upon by our parents. It's not regarded as a real job in most industries, almost most circles. And we still wanted to go out and venture forth and try to do something, right? Because we do see this as the opportunity to create, to do something good, because this is how we were consuming this industry in the first place, the entertainment, and how inspiring it was for us, how you could read into somebody else's life or journey through a movie or a documentary, how you can just step foot in the Amazon forest and enjoy nature.
Because visuals really move people, way more than text or theories, right? It's the power of visuals. So I think as creatives, we are given so much power, right, to inspire and change the world. Just that we are not given the chance, or we fear, right, to do something with it.
We understand that this could be a way for you to express yourselves or find a way to create some show or promotion in areas that you believe in. But we also have been influenced by Hollywood for over 100 years, to be conditioned to let ourselves shut off and take on and take in whatever the director is trying to say. Now the screens have just shrunk and they're in your hand. So realistically, you have this opportunity to speak on a very intimate platform to all your circle of influence and more. So a platform that reaches from one to many.
I think what's very exciting right now is that we have very interesting categories in this festival. We have the student categories and the open categories. So, both of us come from a filmmaking background, right? Of course, we were trained in film schools, the institutional ways.
Traditional methods,
right? But nowadays, you see almost everyone is actually a videographer. Once you own a phone with a camera, you can actually do a video on your own. This is why TikTok is so powerful, YouTube is so powerful right now, right? But again, we don't want to limit, right, this festival to just professional filmmakers or film students. This is why we have the open category, right, to all people. So even if you are a secondary school student, a primary school student, right, you still can actually make a film by using your phone, right? So we're not limiting it to professional equipment. And the categories are very interesting because we have the narrative categories, We have documentary categories.
Expression
Yes,
category.
that's my favorite. So we do not like to put our filmmakers or designers or creatives into a box, right? So we want to give them the freedom for expression, in any form. Right?
Yeah, give them the opportunity to create, animations that help them to express themselves as well. And we have that animation category also because we have Autodesk as our education partner coming in with, beginners as well as advanced Maya training. We also have included one more category, and this is the 360 category. If you don't have a 360 camera, then it's not a problem because they also have some on loan.
Yeah, I think we are very grateful that there's a lot of stakeholders and supporters,
Yeah.
right, that help us in this cause of this film festival.
A shout out to Canon for being our key prize sponsor. And we didn't want this to stop here. So right now we're still, in talks with even more people and more corporations to see how we can actually take this on. Starting the conversation so that we can learn from you. I guess that's it. And we look forward to seeing you online in our Learning Festival. So come on, we want to hear from you. We want to hear your feedback. And we want to actually, find out how we can do better. We listen to everything and we read everything, so don't be shy. The Learning Festival will include AMA sessions from our advocates. It's also going to have webinars and even workshops. So stay tuned for, just checking out what the schedule is going to look like. And
our fellow judges and myself really look forward to seeing all your works. Thank you.
see you soon.